Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. So I posted on Instagram the other night asking you guys to comment any questions that you wanted to ask me and that I would film my first Q&A style video. So that's what I'm doing today. Also, first off, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's watched any of my videos. Just yesterday, my total channel views reached over 100,000, which is so crazy. And my first video from the beginning, the My Story Part 1 video, is like 50,000. So like half the views on my whole channel are from that video, and it's so crazy to think that so many people have seen it, and I have really great comments, and everyone was really great and sweet, and so just thank you. So I got my coffee, my Think Positive mug, and I'm gonna start the questions. So as soon as I posted that photo, I texted my best friend and said, will you please comment a question on my picture so I don't look like a loser and have nobody leave me any kind of question. So she was my first comment, and she hit me with a hard question right from the beginning. So her question was, if money and time weren't an issue, what would you like to do for a career if you could do anything? So I would have to say, if it could be anything, I would love to do some kind of work with animals. And I've always had that soft spot for them when I was a little kid. Always thought that would be so amazing, but obviously there'd be the hard parts of when they die, but that's just always kind of had a place in my heart that of something I'd want to do. So then she asked me, what are 3 things that have changed in you from the person you were before the accident, and do you like those changes? So after thinking about this for a little bit, I would say my number 1 change is the value that I have now for family, and how important that is to me, and how I know that that is my number 1. They are the ones that are always going to be there and have done everything above and beyond for me in the last 7 years, and I would say honestly it's the number 1 most positive thing I take. Another thing I would say that has changed in me since the accident is I am a much more patient person. I think it has partly to do with being in a situation where you do rely on people for a lot in day-to-day life, that you either will drive yourself crazy or just learn to become more patient. And I've definitely learned that, and it's a good thing. It can, sometimes I'm almost patient to a fault, and I try to work on that too. So that change, I think I would say, is a positive. I really think it's a good trait to be patient. And then the last thing I would say that has changed since my accident that I don't like is my laugh. I went through high school being known as the girl with the really distinct, over the top, kind of loud laugh that could be heard from far away kind of thing. And now I think it's like a lung capacity thing and a weak diaphragm and everything joined together, and I don't have that laugh anymore. And it's like a weird thing to think about. It's like, okay, I lost function from like the chest down, including hands, which is the visible part of the injury, but then the things you don't see, like I don't have my laugh anymore. So next question. If you could wake up tomorrow and be in an entirely different country, what country would you pick to be in and why? That would be amazing, because today is literally minus 32, so anybody would want to be somewhere warm, including me. Obviously, I'd love to go to Europe and see places like France and Rome, Italy, but I would love to go to somewhere like Bora Bora or Fiji and down in the islands and stay in the hut over the water and just chill. That's would be my pick, I think. So the next one, if you could fast forward 10 to 15 years from now, what do you see being a priority in your life? Where would you like to be and what would you like to be doing? So I would be 34 to 39, which is scary. My priority, I hope, I'm just like still surrounded by my family, and that is always, I think, gonna be my number one priority, and to have maybe my own family at some point by that age. And I would like to be in a bigger city type place for sure, more available to me and just more options of things to do. The what would you like to be doing part of the question is like so hard to think of in terms of a job. I just am not even sure what road I'm gonna be on at that point. I just know I want to be doing things that keep me happy and motivated and surrounding myself with good people and trying to stay healthy and fit as I can. And yeah. Oh my goodness. So my other best friend, my wheel friend, as we call each other, who is also in a wheelchair, and we were roommates when we were both injured in the hospital, she left me a comment and gave me like 4 deep questions. So, first off, how do you stay so positive, and what is your personal mission statement? Oh my goodness. Staying positive, I've just had to learn that your day goes by a lot better if you can just keep positive thoughts. And when you wake up and it feels like a bad day and you think it's going to be bad and it's just negative, really the negative things don't stop coming. And it's like things keep rolling on top of each other, and that's just how I feel the day goes when you started off bad. And even though obviously those days happen, it's so much better if you can just think positive. And if you're stuck in that bad day, just think, okay, I can't wait to go to bed and this day to be over, and then restart. That's literally all you can do sometimes, is go to bed and restart your day, because sometimes days are shitty. And my personal mission statement, that's so interesting. So I know I made a mission statement in one of my classes in college, and I'm just actually going to look it up and see what I wrote. So I know sometimes mission statements are like a sentence maybe, and for this assignment that we did, it had to be a bit more substantial than that, and then we also included a quote that we felt represented that. So I'm going to read it because I haven't seen this for like over a year, and I actually kind of like what it says. So I wrote, I remember to wake up each day thankful for what lies ahead and maintain positivity in each of my actions to achieve the greatest results. I pride myself on my compassion for all, my belief in honesty and loyalty, and my dedication to my family. I put forth my hard work in all aspects of my life and enjoy adding my creativity. I believe all things are possible when I'm able to create a reality while holding on to my dreams. And then I added a quote from Rick Hansen, and it says the goal you must set must be challenging. At the same time, it should be realistic and attainable, not impossible to reach. It should be challenging enough to make you stretch, but not so far that you break, which I really like that. So I'd say all that just bundled up. I like to think that I strive to be that person. So then she asked me, what have you learned about yourself since the accident? And just straight up, I would say one of the main things is not to care so much about what other people think. And I know that's like a broad statement, and anybody could think that about something in their life, but it's like, obviously, when I go out, people sometimes stare at, it's like, oh, I know they're probably just curious, like, why is that young girl in a chair? What happened to her? Oh, that's sad, kind of a situation, which I understand. And I've gotten to the point that it doesn't really bother me because it happens all the time, so just let it be. Okay, and then she asked me, if you could spend a meal with anyone who is dead or alive, who would it be and why? That's so hard. Because it could be anybody. Who do I want to spend a meal with and talk to? Now that I've thought of it, after I just read that quote from Rick Hansen, I think that would be someone that I'd really like to have a conversation with. I have shook his hand once in passing at an event, which was cool, but I would definitely like to sit down, well, we'd both be sitting down, and have a good conversation with him and talk about his life and his world tour and all that good stuff. And then her last question is, what is something you want to accomplish? With hearts. I'd say right now, my number one thing to accomplish is moving. That's what's on my mind every day. When can it happen and how can I make it happen? And that's what I am working on. Which brings to the next question. If you could move wherever, where would you want to go? So at this point, I know I've said this before that I'd love to live in Calgary, which is like 2 hours from where I live, but if it could be anywhere, obviously I'd pick somewhere that has no snow and is nicer all year long. Some part of Southern California, or I don't know, I'm sure there's parts of islands and stuff that are made accessible maybe for an older kind of population that would be so awesome to live at. And I know when I talk about places I want to go or live and I keep looking up, it's because I have a huge like world map sitting above my desk, so I'm always looking and it's like, ooh, where do I want to go? So another question, what is your morning routine like? How much can you do without help? So I do have someone that helps me in the morning. Obviously, I have a catheter done right when I wake up, and then I usually eat something small like yogurt and then take my pills, and then I do a bit of range of motion with my legs and a couple stretches out on my fingers, and then I have help with getting the bottom part dressed, and then that's usually when I get into my chair, and then I'll do a shirt from my chair sitting up is easier, and then yeah, I then just get help with getting stuff set up in the bathroom, and then I can brush my teeth and stuff on my own, and then yeah, it's usually about an hour. It's not too bad. And lastly, it wasn't a question, someone just commented, gorgeous pic of you, hashtag hella fly, hashtag swag just drippin'. So thanks for the comment. This made me laugh. And thank you to everybody that commented and made a question for me. This was actually really a fun video, and I would totally do another one later on down the road. And yeah, I hopefully will get some more ideas soon for cool videos, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.